power, success and achievement. The 90s will always be remembered for the emergence of Indian women. Not only the women of today, but also the women of tomorrow. Women have established themselves in a number of fields: medical science, civil services, law, business, civil aviation, to name a few. All this she has done for what she is and not as an alternative to man. There are many other women who have come out of their traditional bonds and have created a niche for themselves in the society. The darkness from the lives of Indian women is now gradually thinning, and a new face of Indian women is emerging with this new dawn. There is no doubt whatsoever that they are prepared to face the new challenges in these changed circumstances. On one hand, they are establishing themselves at the workplace. On the other, they are giving a new meaning to their role at home. Today, they are more ambitious, confident and focused, ready to go. But reaching here was not easy. It was a different story till some time back. The saying, "the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world," never represented the Indian women. Because in India, those hands which rocked the cradle were never considered capable of ruling the world, and their life was limited to the home. And when a woman left her home to work, then also she was not free to make the decisions. She was deliberately offered jobs similar to her role at home, like that of a teacher, nurse, or at most a secretary. But now, has there been any change in the attitude of the society?
हम आपको किस्सा बताए थे, जो साहब हमारे पास आए, कहने लगे कि मैं बच्ची को बहुत शौक़ है आपके, रोज़ आती है हमारी गाड़ी में, मगर ये कि अगर किसी को मालूम होगा तो उसकी शादी नहीं होगी। तो हमने कहा ये तो आपकी प्रॉब्लम है कि आप छिपा कर रखें, हम ये चीज़ नहीं बताएंगे। मतलब ये कितनी बेइज्जती की चीज़ थी, उनको ये एहसास कि लोगों को मालूम हो जाएगा तो लोग बच्ची से शादी नहीं करेंगे। 25 साल पुरानी बात है। अगर अब लास्ट मंथ एक साहब हमारे पास आए कि हमारी डॉटर की शादी हो रही है, अगर आप लिख कर नहीं देंगे कि आप स्कूल में पढ़ रही है तो उसकी लड़के वाले उसको देखने को तैयार नहीं हैं, शादी नहीं हो सकती। I thought the wheel had turned full circle.
Gradually, we are becoming familiar with the women working at the higher level. And why not? Women are working very successfully as the general manager, personal manager, marketing chief, and public relation officer. Today's women have proved themselves competent in both the traditional as well as the new emerging professional options.
I am very proud to be an Indian because in all my trips abroad, I have found that not very many women scholars become professors or even vice chancellors. Whereas I think in India, we do not make that distinction. If you have the qualification and if you have the quality to be on top, no gender discrimination is done.
Because of their sensitivity, they perform the role of a doctor or a nurse beautifully. However, there are certain fields where women have not been able to make a complete mark. Since they have a good sense of color and aesthetics, women are getting numerous important jobs to do in the creative industry. Today's woman is completely in control of the physical hardships, social constraints, and mental pressure faced in any field. She is gradually but surely moving towards the success.
For that 5 minutes of glory on stage, what goes on behind it is complete chaos, hard work. You know, there is no such thing in our lives as temperature, you know, as heat and cold, because you work under very different circumstances. We're working with labor. I mean, to think someone would think कि तो glamour में है तो उसको film star वगैरह सब मिलते हैं. That's barely 5 minutes of my whole day, which might be 8 to 9 hours or more. वो सारा दिन we spend with कारीगर्स and tailors जो बिल्कुल ही illiterate लोग हैं. उनके साथ ही रह के we teaching them. उनको तो basic pant shirt भी नहीं आता पहले. So it's like really frustrating sometimes, banging your head against wall, working against time limits, deadlines.
Her ability to see both sides of a coin prove her capabilities as a journalist. Today many women are coming in this profession, and despite the hard schedule and tiring deadlines, they are doing wonderfully for themselves. Yes, the world is changing very rapidly, and today a woman has competition with no one but herself. In order to excel in her new role, she has not left her earlier roles, like that of a mother or a wife. On the other hand, she is succeeding in every aspect of life. Today, girls are going for more unconventional subjects than they were doing 10 years back. In addition to this, more and more girls are going for higher studies now. There was a time when the condition of women was really bad, and from there, the only way for them was to go up. And that is exactly what they are doing. They are going higher up. Today, leaving her old identity, women are entering the new fields. In commerce field also, the number of women has increased. Women have entered the architecture and construction field, which was once considered a male domain. In the last 10 years, the number of women enrolling the architecture schools has increased more than 7 times.
One, because it's still seen as a very labor-oriented kind of industry, and that is why you see maybe the parents feel that it's too tough a job for the woman to go out onto the field and do that. Mind you, you see, there are women structural engineers working in the consultant's office or in our offices also. But for on-site, this thing, it's not on as yet. But I think times are changing, because now, as I said, it's becoming more and more professional, and you have role of women in project management now. I feel they can do a very good job.
Actually, हमेशा से I was interested in doing something creative. कुछ बनाना चाहती थी मैं. I was interested in designing in the buildings around me, surroundings में. Or I was interested in science as well, maths, physics, chemistry. I didn't want to leave science as well. So architecture is a profession which combines these two, the artistic side plus the technical side. So that's why I chose this profession.
The changing woman of today is reaching everywhere, right from the depth of the sea to the skies. So Damani Deshmukh was the first lady to command the Indian Airlines plane. Following in her footsteps, today many women are working successfully as airline pilots. Even the Indian Air Force is inducting women in its squadrons, helicopter and transport planes. And now, women are aiming at the fighter jets.
Right from the day I joined, I was aware of my handicaps being a girl. And the boys do have an advantage because they are brought up different socially. Their minds are different. So I had to work hard to come up to that level which is required of a professional pilot, for which girls do have to work harder.
I'm very thrilled to be a pilot in the Air Force. I am sure, I mean, I would have joined even if it was the 10th or the 150th course. I would have joined. And I think I would have felt just as proud as I feel today, because I am wearing the uniform that I'd always dreamt of wearing.
Finance and share markets have also been male-dominated areas for many years. But now, women have started entering there too. The world of bulls and bears, the stock exchange membership, was with men only because the broker card of the father used to be transferred to the son as inheritance. But now this clause has also been amended, and today many women have got the broker card, and there are many more who are working as sub-brokers. So whether it is the challenge from the stock market or from the corporate world, women are conquering everything.
आज तो सारा दुनिया सब फाइनेंस वर्ल्ड को ही देख रहे हैं और स्टॉक ब्रोकिंग तो कुछ सालों से स्पेशली मिस्टर हर्षद मेहता के टाइम से तो सबके मुंह पे है जिधर जाओ आज क्या रेट था आज क्या भाव था आज क्या हुआ इतना सो मच सो कि अगर मार्केट में भी मैं कई बार खड़े होकर देख रही थी लड़कियां मैगजीन्स उठा रही हैं ऑन कैपिटल मार्केट्स जो कि पहले कभी नहीं था.
In legal profession, there has always been a sex bias. Despite this, Indian women lawyers like Leela Seth, Reema Kaul, Shobha Dikshit and Fatima Bibi have succeeded and created a way for others to follow. And today, when there are women courts, the women lawyers have established themselves completely in the legal world.
ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग वुमन के तहत मुझे कोई ख़ास प्रॉब्लम नहीं लगी. मुझे जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स लगी है वो वकील के तहत ही लगी हैं. सिर्फ एक दो बार हमें लगा है कि कोई ऐसे लॉयर्स के साथ जब हमारी कोई मान लीजिए सेटलमेंट की डिस्कशंस हो रही हैं तो ईगो प्रॉब्लम्स जो आ जाती हैं अब वो क्यों हैं कि हम यंगर हैं या हम विमेन हैं ये मैं नहीं कह सकती.
Today, a women civil servant, unlike earlier times, is not afraid to stay alone when transferred and posted to some remote area. Now, more and more women are succeeding in the tough UPSC examination and getting attached in the governance of the country. The changing image of the Indian women was never so clear as it is in the forces. Whether it is army, police or the paramilitary forces, women undergo the same tough training as men. The women are not only proving themselves better, in some cases they handle the situation sympathetically without being destructive and solve the crisis.
I think it is a plus point being a woman because we can understand sorrow better. We are better equipped psychologically to apply a soothing balm once the government machinery becomes functional again.
Women had proved themselves as competent executives, but there is one more area where they have established themselves, and that is as entrepreneurs. They are taking every decision of life very cleverly, from the most mundane to the most important. Today, a woman is making her own choices. She is coping quite successfully with the demands from both home and the professional settings. Today's woman is confident, self-dependent, and there is nothing in this world that can change this. It is not wrong that a woman makes the home and her image is reflected in her home. She is the one who, with her love and affection for family and friends, converts a house into the home.
For me, family is very important because it's my sounding board. It gives me my emotional strength. And after a tough day or after a challenge at work, if I come back to my family, I feel warm, I feel secure, I feel comfortable. I think without my family, I'd be completely dead. And work is important because it helps an individual grow, it makes a person evolve, and you are exposed to all kinds of things, and you understand dealing with people better, you understand yourself better, you relate to situations in different ways. And I think that kind of feeling of independence is very important to every woman.